Welcome back, guys. This is round 4 in the tournament. We are on game 2 in our best of 5 series. The map is Crevasse. This is one of the GSL maps, and let's move straight on to introducing our players. In the top left we have a green Zerg Rampager versus our blue Terran spawning in the top right, Brockemon. Now, we did see Brockemon take out game 1 pretty convincingly, demonstrating the power of the Terran mech army. And we just have to see if Rampager can actually take out this second game. Rampager needs to try to win this game to actually put himself in a good mindset. It's never good to actually come back from a 2-0 deficit, but if he's sitting on 1-all, he will actually be feeling pretty good about himself. So he will actually put himself in a pretty good mindset. He would be able to focus a lot better, and it'd actually relieve the pressure a bit. Now, we do see Rampager sending out his drone scout. Brockmon's still not scouting yet, which is actually fairly standard for Terran, because you don't really need to scout Zerg all that quickly unless they're doing something really cheesy. We do see Rampager actually scouting in the wrong position, so he's probably going to be discovering Brockmon's position as the very last base he scouts. Now, we do see Brockemon throwing down his barracks for his wall in. We do have the destructible rocks on the ramp. This is actually one of the features that actually tends to be pretty predominant in GSL maps. There is the other map which does have the collapsed supply depot at the bottom of the ramp. That's actually to prevent being force filled. The rocks is slightly there to do the same thing, kind of. So I'd assume. Rampager is throwing down his expo. He is going for hatch before spawning pool. So we'll just have to see how that works out for him. Generally on this map it is going to be pretty good, but because he actually hasn't really scouted the Terran yet, it could come back to bite him. But since Brockemon hasn't scouted either, he probably will be pretty safe at the moment. We do see Brockemon actually throwing down his spawning pool now. Hasn't got the gas yet, so we're probably going to be seeing a Ling-based army to start off with. Now, Brockemon does see the drone, so he probably is going to be assuming that Rampager is in one of the further bases, unless he actually wasn't paying any attention to the minimap, which could be the case. Generally, if you're getting scouted this late by a Zerg, you can assume that he is in a pretty far away position. Brockemon is going for a factory, so we're probably going to be seeing the same Hellion style that we saw in game 1. We did see that was actually pretty effective with dealing with mass Zerglings, which actually looks to be the case at the moment, since Rampage is actually getting a pretty late gas. So we're not going to see any other tech come up anytime soon, really. Now, Brockemon actually did scout in the wrong position as well, so at the moment the positioning is going to favour Rampager a bit, so we will have to see if he actually is managed to do any aggression early on, if he is actually able to deny the scouting for Brockemon. Now, we do see a second barracks get thrown up for Brockemon, and the factory switching places with the barracks which had the reactor on it, so we are going to be seeing a couple of Hellions pumped out. This is just going to be to get some early map dominance, try to do a bit of harassment in the middle line. Now, Brockemon still hasn't scouted where he is, but he did scout the other two bases, so he knows he's going to be at the top. He is going to see that early expo, so we'll just have to see what he actually chooses to do about it. The Zergling is going to be running up, just poking out to see what he can actually see, what unit composition there is. He is going to see that the Hellions are out, so he's going to want to get his Roach Warden up, which is almost finished. So he's going to get a couple Roaches out to actually defend against this Hellion aggression. The Zergling at the Xel'Naga Tower does see that Brockemon is pushing out. Brockemon probably should have poked by there and just tried to snipe it out, but choosing not to do so. Rampager is actually blocking the ramp with his Zerglings. There is a couple of pixels there that are actually open. Well, guess not. That would actually prevent the Hellions from running in, dealing damage to his main, which is actually did receive all the drones that were mining from the expansion, which is actually a pretty smart idea, since the Hellions did cause him quite a lot of trouble before. So he's probably just worrying that the same thing will happen. Try playing it safe, moving the drones back, but he is going to bring the drones back now that he has his Roaches to push back any early Hellion aggression. Now, we do see 2 racks with reactors, so he's actually getting quite a few Marauders. No Marines actually being produced. So we'll just have to see where Brockemon chooses to go with this style. The Marauders are going to be effective against the Roaches, but if Rampager does choose to go for a relatively large Zergling army, Brockemon might face a couple of problems, especially since he isn't getting the Infernal Pre-Igniter upgrade. Now we do see more Roaches being produced. We do see Stim coming out for the Terran, and Rampager is getting his Lair Tech up, and also getting his second gas, so we'll just have to see which tech path he chooses. He's probably going to go for his Spire yet again. Rampager is actually supply blocked at the moment since, actually I don't know what happened. Kind of blanked out there for a second. The Hellions are going to try to poke in, but they are going to get repelled by the 3 Roaches. He probably should throw up a Spine Crawler just to be safe, but with this number of Roaches and Zerglings, he should be able to push back the Hellion aggression. But Brockemon is moving out. He actually is bringing all his SCVs in. So at the moment, Brockemon is going all in. He does have 1 Mule mining at the base. The SCVs actually soaking up most of the Roach damage. The Marauders are going to be able to get a couple of shots off. So Brockemon actually doing a slight delayed worker rush, I guess. This expansion is going to get taken down by the Marauders. I've actually never seen this before. The Broodlings are not going to do much. Brockmon's main problem is actually doesn't have any anti-air, so if this was delayed, like even by a tiny bit, and Rampager did have a Spire up, that could cause some problems. But most of the SCVs are getting taken down. They are going to cause quite a lot of damage to the Roaches and the Queens, and basically Brockemon is probably going to be able to clean this up. Last Queen is about to fall, and that's basically the last offensive unit that Rampager actually has. Rampager does GG out, so Brockemon does take game 2 somewhat convincingly and in a quite unique style, I'll call it. So Rampager is down 2 games at the moment. He probably isn't in that good of a mindset, but he does need to win at least 1 more game, or Brockemon is going to basically take this set 3 games to 0. So we are going to move on to game 3, and I'd like to see Rampager actually try to take the next few games, try to keep this series going on a little longer, because both of these players are actually pretty of high caliber. Rampager is the crowd favorite at the moment, but Brockemon is showing his dominance that he has been showing throughout the entire tournament so far. So this has been Crucius for USID and New South Wales StarSoc, as well as Into StarCraft, and I'll be right back with game 3.